Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a unexpected reprisal of Friday Night Ascent. We are here with ADJ Bears versus No Mercy at the explicit request of our admin Will, who has decided he really wants to watch this game and so has pulled together a last-minute broadcast to make it happen. So I'm definitely going to call him out on that. But welcome everyone who has decided to tune in and join us here. So far, the scores are 1-0 in favor of No Mercy, and we are here on Dorado, the second map of the series, about to head into the No Mercy attack phase. They will be playing from the blue there. So No Mercy on the attack, ADJ Bears defending, and it does look like ADJ Bears has managed to fully cap Dorado in OT. So this is already looking like a really close game. It has apparently been super close between these teams so far. And we've got a lot to look forward to here on Dorado. I'm Pyronius, by the way, for those who don't recognize my voice by now. And unless someone else turns up very shortly, I will be bringing you this cast solo. But I am, of course, joined by Pinky MacGyver, who is our producer for this evening. So we do have the cart just making its way up the main road here. Both teams just sort of poking at each other from a distance. Not a lot going on there. We do have a bit of an interesting composition coming out from the defenders here. On the part of ADJ Bears, they are running a triple tank using the two dive tanks with a wrecking ball, but it doesn't seem to be working out particularly well for them here, as we are seeing the members of No Mercy grinding this one out and pushing it through into the courtyard of Dorado. Son getting picked up there as well. And it's just Zahir left on the Widowmaker to contest all six members of No Mercy. Obviously not going to be much of a fight put up there, and that will be a fairly painless first cap there by the members of No Mercy as they push their way forward on Dorado. We will see some composition swaps now coming through. DMT is over onto the Sombra, and Zahir has swapped over to the Farah as well. Ooh, that's a nasty stagger DMEC onto Boone, and they will be just jumping off the map there to try and reset. This payload is going to continue to make its way around the first corner. DMT is shadowing it on the Sombra, and is going to pop up to provide a bit of threat there, but has to translocate out fairly quickly, and the cart will continue to roll. As once again, the defenders of ADJ Bears really need to get the defense set up here. So far, they have just been pushed around on this map, and they need to stop this payload, or there's going to be an awful lot of time on the clock there coming into C. There's the nano boost being committed there onto Ray, so they are going in on this attack here now, but some good boops there from the members of No Mercy, really denying the effectiveness. He's now popped the Primal Rage, and he will hunt down Libby and take out that Zenyatta, so looking like a good Primal Rage there, and does manage to get quite a bit done with that. The disruption really splits the members of No Mercy in half, and with three members focusing that Winston, the other five members of ADJ Bears easily able to take the fight win there. So this payload will be stopped here. 4 minutes left on the clock, but ADJ Bears now in control in this defense. So that said, the attackers of No Mercy, they do have a lot of ultimates coming online. They are about to have all 6 ultimates online. The defenders will have an EMP though, which can really shut out that ult discrepancy there if well executed. And Boone has the self-destruct. That could be a really nasty EMP self-destruct combo. So here's also about to get the rocket barrage up, but Sentinel State going down early means that this fight is already favoured in the defenders without it, although DMT getting picked up by Hercules there. Bit of an unexpected turn, and they've lost Andy as well. No Mercy dropping the sound barrier. They're going to commit to this because they've got a huge advantage in this fight now. There's the grab being committed, but not a lot of value from that one, and Zahir gets whipped out of the air by Major Parch Brigida. Son down as well means that No Mercy are in control of this fight. It's just Boone desperately trying to escape and avoid getting staggered out there. But there's going to be a lot of pressure onto that Diva. He's going to get the opportunity to recontest the card. And there's the EMP from DMT. This is a good start, and the barrage coming in from the side is going to get covered by Andy, but the point gets capped anyways. Oh no, they needed to get on that. They've just invested all of their defensive ultimates, and the cart has capped through anyway. That is not the place you want to be if you are a member of the ADJ Bears. This is looking fantastic for No Mercy though. 4 minutes left on the clock as they make their way into the final point. If the defense is not able to get back control of this payload, this is looking very much like we're going to be going into overtime here with a huge advantage to No Mercy, but let's see how this one plays out. Central State gets the initiation, drives Boone off the high ground, but Boone reflexes back onto there. They are going to... Oh no, that's... Boone gets knocked down. Boone's now in a world of trouble down there all by themselves. Is managed to get the boosters back online to get to safety, but is being chased down by Central State on the Winston as well. This is still anyone's fight. Major Parch has gone down, but they've got the trade kill onto Andy and Son as well, which means once again No Mercy in the driver's seat here. There's the here down as well. They've lost Rennie, but they are actually going to drop back and regroup here, it looks like. Ray picking up Hercules as well means an opportunity. The members of No Mercy, they're committing, they're backing out. It's a bit of hokey pokey here on the point, but they are slowly grinding that payload forward nonetheless. But the defenders' respawn advantage comes through here. All the members of ADJ Bears have made it back into the point, whereas No Mercy still has several people back at the spawn. That kill on Essential Snake there should trigger the reset, and sure enough, we do see the members of No Mercy backing out here. This fight is not one they can win now. They need to regroup, but with 3 minutes still on the clock, and only the smallest of distance left to go, there's still plenty of time for them to get this one across the line. So looking here, we have seen Rennie swap over to the Reaper for this final point. Good choice. A lot of very short-range combat is going to be here. That's going to allow a lot of damage from that Reaper. That said, they do have to worry about Zahir's stuns on the Brigida. Still a very effective answer to that Reaper. And here comes the commitment with the rally. They're dropping the Transcendence as well aggressively. This could come back to bite them, but they are not playing into a Zarya, so I suppose they don't need it for that. Huge self-destruct by Boone, however, takes out 2, and here comes the rest of the kills for ADJ Bears. They're going to win this fight as well, and with 2 minutes left on the clock, that's looking great for them. Rennie now swapping over onto the Zarya. They're going to move over to the full Goats composition here to try and get this payload the last 10 meters of the way. So they just want to absolutely run this one out. And with DMT having the Grav online and Andy with the Transcendence plus Ray's Earthshatter, the defenders have a lot of tools at their disposal as well, whereas obviously the ult economy has just been reset by the attackers there of No Mercy. So this could be a rough... They've really only got 2, maybe 3 attempts left at this payload, and they're not in a good position to do it ult-wise. There's the Shatter, picks up Rennie and Major Parch. There's the confirmation through onto both of them. This is already looking like a dominant fight win by the defenders. Central Snake's down as well. And, and that's a self-destruct that maybe Mullers is going to want back, because this fight was already well and truly over, and now they're just going to have to try and get out of here without getting staggered. But they lose the mech again, which is really unfortunate. 1 minute left on the clock. We're really looking at 2 fights at most, more likely 1 fight if it drags out. And once again, DMT has got the Graviton Surge online. Son and Andy still have their defensive ultimate, so he's got a rally as well. A lot of tools available to the defenders here to just stop this payload in its tracks. And the attackers do not have a lot of ultimates really coming up soon. It's really just Flibby with the Transcendence, which is going to be instrumental for dealing with DMT's Grav, but it's not going to be able to carry them the whole fight unless they can get a lot done. There's the Grav, answered immediately by that Transcendence. Hercules gets pinned out of it and taken down. That's not the position you want to be in here. And there's a big shatter from Ray. That'll clean up this fight. And because it took so long to get set up, there's only 10 seconds left on the clock. It's just Flibby alone here getting staggered out. He's not going to be allowed to get back to his team. And they're just going to have to stagger onto this. Rennie is back here by himself. Here comes Hercules as well. They're going to stagger onto the payload, but there's all 6 members of ADJ Bears alive here. Unless they can do something incredibly crazy, it's really looking like this cart will be stopped here. And already Rennie has gone down. There's the pin onto Major Parch as well. The Wrecking Ball does manage to get Transcendence out of Andy, but it is still just cleanup on this payload. Flibby's made it back onto the Doomfist, but so far hasn't managed to take anyone out with it. There's a Diva Bomb over the top, which is going to clear everyone away. Central Snake does manage to keep the cart alive, but there he goes, and everyone else is down. ADJ Bears will win Dorado and tie up this series 1-1. And wow, what an incredibly close game that was. After such a dominant push there from No Mercy, it looked like nothing can stop them through the first 3 stages of the map. ADG Bears just really absolutely locked down that third part of the map. It was theirs from start to finish, and while the cart did get very dangerously close at some points. Once they got that solid defense in place, it really was just ADJ Bear styling over the members of No Mercy fight after fight. They got the ultimate economy advantage and they kept it. They used their ultimate smartly. And as a result, they do manage to take away victory here on Dorado. So really well played there by the members of ADJ Bear. They managed to get their feet back under them and take it through to the victory there. Now, this series is tied up, and we will be heading over to Assault next, so No Mercy will get the choice between Temple of Anubis and Hanamura for their map choices. And just while we're waiting for that to set up, I'm just going to quickly go and fill up my water bottle, as I have not done that yet, as this was a very rushed, put together cast, so bear with me a moment, I will be back shortly. And I am back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to this Ascendant game between ADJ Bears and No Mercy. We're just having some quick player substitutions before we head over next to Temple of Anubis. And if you're just joining us, the score currently tied between No Mercy and ADJ Bears, 1-1 as we head into the Assault map stage. So far, No Mercy has proven that they are scrappy enough to win out on control, winning after 2 rounds of 99-99. But ADJ Bears managed to get their revenge on Dorado with a really solid 0.3 hold after No Mercy snowballed their way through the rest of the map. So it's going to be interesting to see how these teams go in Anubis. You have to think that, given how snowballed it is, you can really go to either team here, because ADJ Bears, it took a long time for them to really get their defense going, so there is the risk of No Mercy just blowing all the way through them. On the other hand, if No Mercy are able to get stopped there, and ADJ Bears able to get that defense set up, they've proven to be very good with their ultimate rotations, whereas No Mercy, perhaps a bit less disciplined. There were some ultimates used that were sort of thrown into fights they weren't really going to be able to win. And between that and a couple of regular team composition switches, No Mercy were never really able to recover once they had lost the ult economy advantage. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out when we do head into Anubis. But still just waiting on a couple of player substitutions before that one happens by the looks of it. And welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen, to this ongoing game between ADJ Bears and No Mercy. We'll be heading into the Temple of Anubis shortly, just finishing up a quick substitution, which looks like it's gone through. Kid Raw will be joining the roster for No Mercy, and we should be able to head into the game very shortly. The teams are just, I believe, confirming that the substitution is legal, and then we will be getting going very shortly. And yes, the teams have indicated they're ready, so we will be heading into Temple of Anubis just as I say these words, in fact.
Now entering the Temple of Anubis.
And just as we load in here, it's going to be interesting to see what we see from these teams, because so far we have seen that ADJ Bears is not afraid to go for some unusual compositions, bring out some unorthodox plays here, and that can definitely catch people by surprise on the first point of Anubis. But if you're unable to snowball it through, things can get very awkward on that second point of Anubis. Likewise, if you go for the unorthodox defensive composition on A and get rolled through, you do often put yourself into a very bad position coming into B. Anubis is a bit of a tricky map to defend in that regard, because the compositions that are really strong for point B are very weak on point A, and vice versa. So you really do need to decide as a team if you're going to be prioritizing point A or point B on that defense. And a lot of teams do favor point B because obviously it's a lot easier to hold. You have a huge spawn advantage there. It's really only in sort of the time bank rounds that you see teams start to play for the point A hold. That said, we will be seeing a bit of a point A hold here coming out from the members of No Mercy, as they are favoring the Winston Diva there. They've got Zenyatta, Lucio, and then a Brigitte, interestingly, as their DPS. So between the Brigitte and the Sombra, there's not a lot of damage available on that composition. So they really are going to need to be very decisive with their fight engagements and really work together on focus fire. Meanwhile, the attackers running a triple tank with the two dive tanks and the Wrecking Ball once again, and they've got this here on the Widowmaker. We saw this on Dorado briefly in point A, but it really didn't work out very well for them. And that does seem to be the case again here so far. Ray going down early, and he gets the res onto Ray, but gets punished for it hard, and so far, No Mercy looking pretty strong here despite their low damage comp. But there goes Flibby early, and that is a dangerous position to be in, where you've lost your Brigitte. That's the only source of burst healing in this composition, so without that there, they are in a lot of danger, even from a body shot from Zahir, and just the sheer damage that can put out. They are going to have a bit of an ongoing brawl here throughout the map. Kid Raw going down early in the fight, you lost your Zenyatta. Now the pressure is really on the members of No Mercy, and without any trade kills back, it's only a matter of time at this point. Rini has gone down as well, and so there's only 3 remaining members of No Mercy. Flibia's made it back here, so there are 4 of them brawling on the point, and that kill onto Son is a good opener. It's a lot of healing gone from that Ana, but unfortunately Mare Parch, getting caught in that minefield is going to spell the end there, and a lot of kills coming through in favor of ADJ Bears. I dare say they've got it here, as the point gets capped over. So we will be moving over to the point B defense now. That said, the defenders of No Mercy do have a lot of ultimates coming online, so they may have the tools to repel here, even if their composition is perhaps not the strongest for this point B hold. At the very least, neither team does have a Reinhardt, so they don't have to worry about that particular deficiency. With the attackers also favoring the dive tanks, it doesn't put them in as bad of a position as it otherwise could be. But members of ADJ Bears just sort of making their way forwards onto the point here. There's the contest coming through. That's a huge EMP there coming out from Rini. Catches almost the entire team, despite how divided this team wants to play, and the follow-through kills are absolutely huge. Here comes Andy, gets a cheeky res onto Boone, but at this point in the fight, it really might be just feeding ultimate charge if Boone remechs, and sure enough, they're not going to remech and feed the ultimate charge of that one. A good play there from Boone to be disciplined enough not to get that remech. But unfortunately, the defenders they haven't really lost a lot of ultimate charge because they didn't use any ultimates other than the EMP in that fight. And Rini has swapped over to the Zarya. They are going to begin to transition over to what is probably going to be a GOATS composition here to hold this defense. So as soon as they get those ultimates out of the defenders, the composition will be swapping against them. DMT swaps over to a Zarya of his own, so I believe the attackers are coming to a similar conclusion. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a complete comp swap from the attackers here, but it looks like they are going to attempt to push through with this. They've got the Hanzo and the Zarya, but they're still running the dive tanks. Diva Bomb gets thrown in, does pick up Hercules. That is a huge opening pick. Gonna pull the Transcendence straight out of Kid Raw, help deal with this push, but I'm not entirely sure exactly what that Transcendence truly accomplished, unless he needed it to stay alive. Andy does manage to get taken out there though, and Major passes DMX Boon as well. Kid Raw has been taken out by Ray's Primal Rage, but this is looking very strong for the defenders, and Rini has actually swapped over to the Reaper now and is getting a lot of work done on that hero, already up to 75% ultimate charge. This is going to be another successful defensive hold here from the members of No Mercy, and we will see Ray now swapping over onto the Reinhardt. They are going to, looks like they are going to GOATS this one out. We're seeing composition switches come through fairly wholesale from the members of ADJ Bear. Question is, will they remain on that Hanzo or will they be swapping it off? Though they do swap it over for the Brigitte, they are going to go full Goats here as they try and run this one straight down the gut on Anubis B. No Mercy no longer in the dominant ultimate position they once were, and Sentinel Snake actually gone over onto the Wrecking Ball. Interesting pick there. We'll see if it plays out, but Rini and Flibby both going down really early, and there goes Kid Raw as well. Ray has taken down 3, make that 4 with the help of the Nano Boost there. Huge opening pickups from the Reinhardt, and this is looking very good for ADJ Bears after having so much trouble getting onto this point. They are now absolutely crushing it. Here comes Rini with the Death Blossom, but just does not confirm any kills from that one. They do get Ray off the back of that Kid Raw getting the finishing blow. However, the defender's advantage here is quite big, so this is definitely the chance for them to turn this one around. Rini getting a lot of work done on that Reaper now that he's back once again. Kid Raw has been taken down, but unless the attackers can really get some decisive kills, it looks like the defenders might be able to hold this one. And Major Parch picking up Andy is another sign that the defense might just have this one in hand. The attackers recommit now. Ray has come in deep, but he has just dove into the entire members of No Mercy and just gets absolutely deleted there. That will trigger the reset, and unfortunately, despite such a strong start to that fight, ADJ Bears walks away with absolutely nothing at the end, but they did not manage to get that first tick. And as a result, all of their progress is reset here, which you hate to see. That one's gotta hurt. So in terms of ultimates, ADJ Bears still working their way back up, but Central Snake's going to drop in with the minefield straight away. That's going to apply a lot of pressure onto their Flibby has gone down early, however, though. This might be an opportunity, and yes, they are going to push the button. ADJ Bears commits the sound barrier. They're moving in, but they're getting a lot of ultimates out of the defenders as a result. They commit their own Graviton Surge there, but unfortunately, no one's really able to come through. Ray drops the Earth Shadow, gets a couple of people on the ground, and they are going to take out both Kid Raw and Hercules. So this is a good start for the attackers. They haven't been as quick and decisive as they really want or need here. They picked up Flibby now, and finally they're building progress. They do get that first tick, and Sensual Snake comes in with the minefield. Unfortunately, most of those mines end up on the ceiling rather than the floor, but they do get the kill onto Andy Zenyatta, which is absolutely huge. And the members of No Mercy are back on the point here as well. They've managed to equalize this fight. It looks like they will get the defensive hold here, as the remaining members of ADJ Bears are repulsed from the point. But they have given up a tick this time, but 43.8% is the progress achieved. And ADJ Bears, with 1 minute on the clock, have 1 or 2 more shots at this fight win.
You feel that?
It's going to be interesting to see if they can pull this one out. Andy does have the Transcendence online, a very powerful tool here. And the defenders really only have the Diva Bomb, although Rini will have another Death Blossom up soon. That said, Rini's Death Blossoms, they haven't been getting the decisive kills, but they have also been putting down a lot of damage onto the attackers. That early kill into Flibby is a good start. There's the Diva Bomb. That's just going to get blocked out by Ray's shield. Now Ray commits the charge into there. Doesn't really get anything. Essential Snakes drop the minefield on the point. This one's got a much better spread than the last one, but Ray has picked up Rinny. Boone gets demeched by Kid Raw. Really putting in the work there. And Essential Snake going to get the pin onto, or Ray rather, going to get the pin onto Essential Snake, but Flibby has made it back on a Bastion. Takes down Andy, but is taken down in turn, and the kills are still coming through very red on that kill feed. This is do or die. Flibby has dropped the Death Blossom, but again, it gets booped away and does not get the confirmation of any kills there. Does manage to take down Ray in the room, though. And this is looking like anyone's game here. The kill's finally starting to come through. Flibby's back on the Doomfist that takes down DMT. This is looking like maybe, just maybe, No Mercy can still hold this one out. We're in overtime now. This is still anyone's game here, but the kill's overwhelmingly coming through in favor of No Mercy. It does look like ADJ Bears will be repulsed from this point. 75.8% is the progress on the meter at the end of this round. So a very achievable goal to take. All they need to do is get that 75% progress and they'll be able to take that map. At the same time, it's definitely not the easiest thing to get, as we've seen. ADJ Bears fighting tooth and nail for every percent of progress on that second point before getting what they finally could out of it. So given how long that point was sitting at 0% progress, definitely very achievable to hold that as well as we move over to the attacking round for No Mercy. Once again, for everyone joining us, this is Friday Night Ascension, and this is a special bonus game brought to you by our admin, Will, who requested we stream his game because it was looking really close. So I'm once again giving the shout out to Will. Thank you for dropping this on us last minute. But I hope those of you out there are enjoying the cast. It looks like we will actually be heading over to a pause, presumably because one of the players is having some connection issues, or perhaps because Will has asked him to pause it so he can have a go at me in PMs for calling him out. No, he's a good guy, he wouldn't do that. Also, if I say he wouldn't do that on live broadcast, then he won't. But anyways, we'll be heading over to this No Mercy attack phase momentarily. Let's have a look at the defense that's being set up here by the members of ADJ Bears. And they seem to be once again favoring this triple dive tank comp that they've been running with DMT on the Wrecking Ball and the dive tanks of Boone and Ray. So far, we've really seen very mixed results from this one. It hasn't been really giving them the decisive fight wins you'd want from such a unusual composition. So here we'll be playing the Ashe this time rather than the Widowmaker, so maybe that can be the difference maker, but I don't know. They have obviously practiced this comp a lot in scrims, because it does seem to be the default comp they're going to, but it just doesn't seem to be giving them the results they're after so far. Rinny's going to get some early scouting here on the Sombra, so the rest of his team is going to have a very good idea of where these defenders are positioned coming in, and they're just going to run this dive train straight through onto Kid Raw and take them out. So a really good initiation there. We're actually seeing the triple dive from both teams here, interestingly enough, but despite the early kill onto the Ana, there isn't really any follow-up through onto the rest of the team, and Andy has managed to put in work in overtime just trying to keep this team alive. Finally, Boone gets demeched, and maybe the attackers can get something going, but there's the counter DMX onto Mayor Parch. This is looking really good for the defenders, and considering that they lost their Ana at the start of this fight, that just shouldn't be the case. So No Mercy really struggling on the target acquisition after that initial pick. Rinny is now back on the Widowmaker and takes down Zahir. So that's an opportunity, but it looks like Andy is going to get the res there onto Zahir, so that pick is going to be negated. But playing Ashe into Widowmaker is definitely a rough position to be in. Ray is going to go up and pressure out that Widow, but he's going to be pressured back in turn by the tanks of No Mercy. So Rinny almost has free skies as long as the tanks of No Mercy are able to muscle back the defending tanks. He's just going to be able to get that high ground and free fire down. That said, Essential Snake going down early there is going to give a lot of space to the defenders, and we've already bled off almost 2 minutes of this clock. This point A defense is actually looking really good for ADJ Bears. So despite my earlier reservations about their team composition, it's definitely working for them. We are going to see a swap now. Flibby and Rini moving over to the Genji and Sombra, respectively. So they're moving over to a more classic hack and slash dive jump here. Let's hope that they can get the quick executions and follow-throughs that they need, because the defenders have all 6 ultimates online here, because they just haven't needed to use any of them for this defense so far. And again, the attacker's taking a lot of damage pushing into this one. Flibby under a lot of pressure there on the Genji. And there's, okay, Diva Bomb being committed there is going to open things up. They do get, a couple of early kills. Zahir getting 2 with Bob and 1 with the Dynamite Stick as well. Means it doesn't even matter that Son's gone down. In fact, Andy will get the res onto Son as well. So the defender's still holding out strong, although at least they did have to commit 4 ultimates to get that fight win. So that's at least something for the members of No Mercy. But with 1 minute 10 on the clock, they've really only got 2 more shots left at this. Maybe they've got a shot this next fight. They do have the Nano online. They're getting close to having the Genji Blade. That might be the tools they're after, but Rini so far away from this EMP due to those early deaths. Here comes Central State jumping in once again. Actually gets shot away by the coach gun, and that is going to put a lot of pressure onto it. There's the Nano Boost and the Sound Barrier being committed. Central Snake's going to go deep chasing this one out, and Hercules gets picked up from that one as the first kill. That's looking good for the defenders. Zahir finally taken down, but Kid Raw going down as well means that No Mercy just doesn't have any supports. Here comes the Dragon Blade from Flibby. He's trying to make the hero play to win it out, but it's just not working out there. The defenders, too well coordinated, too well organized, and too many of them still alive for a hero blade there to really work out. And now with 15 seconds left on the clock, No Mercy basically has nothing left in the bank. We're seeing desperation swaps. People just trying to run in and keep this point alive. And with 5 seconds left, it's a wonder if they can even get there. Rini is going to get on there with the Sombra, and they get the EMP off. So that's the first tool in there. But unless they can get some kills through, it's not going to matter. Rini and Flibby both down. It didn't matter that so many of the defenders there were EMP'd, because there was just no one alive to follow up on that damage. ADJ Bears just absolutely dominating on point A, and it is going to be a complete shutout here on Anubis. And that will bring the score up to 2-1 in favor of ADJ Bear.
Play of the game.
And here we have the play of the game from Zahir. I dare say this was the Bob play we saw earlier, but yes, here it comes. There's the Bob dropping down. Major Parts gets picked up. Flibby goes down instantly, and there goes Kid Raw as well. You pick up that many kills in that short of time, you're going to win the fight. That's just how it be. And so we will be heading over to the hybrid mode next, and No Mercy will have the choice between King's Row and Eichenwald with their maps. So that's right, folks. We'll be going to King's Row. They haven't officially declared it, and maybe they have declared it. Let me just check. Yes, of course they've declared it. We will indeed be going to King's Row. We always go to King's Row. Why would we ever go to Eichenwald? Who would do that? And so we will be heading over to King's Row shortly, and it looks like ADJ Bears have chosen to attack first, so they will continue to be playing from the red with No Mercy playing from the blue as we load into King's Row.
Now entering King's Row.
Yes, King's Row long has been a favourite map for the Overwatch community, and especially the Australian Overwatch community, so it's no one's surprise that we will be heading here. The only thing we have to really wonder about is exactly what we'll see from these teams. Is it just going to be goats on goats? Will we see some variations? We'll find out soon. But not soon enough, because they got the full Assemble Your Heroes timer set still. We will have ADJ Bears playing that attack first. So No Mercy will have the first defense, and it looks like they're actually going for an Orisa-based composition here. We haven't seen one of them in a while, to be honest. This is a composition that used to be very much favoured with this sort of high ground first point defense, but has fallen a bit out of favour as of late, largely because it was primarily a defense to defend against sort of more dive-based compositions. And the big weakness for this composition is that you need to send your diva down onto the point to keep point progress from going, while the rest of your characters can rain damage down from the high ground. And with the advent of goats, that diva does not last long on the point, unfortunately.
3, 2, 1.
But we aren't going to be seeing goats being rolled out here by the members of ADJ Bears. They will once again have Ray on the Wrecking Ball. They're going to be playing a triple DPS, double support comp with only the Wrecking Ball as their tank. So long range poke comp here from them, which could work out in favor of those defenders unless there's some composition switches. But so far a lot of pressure being put down onto the shield essential spec. But there goes Zakia getting knocked out of the sky there. The res will come through, but Libby picks up Boone as well, and this has been a bit of a rough start. When you see a Pharah getting picked up by a Junkrat and a Widowmaker getting picked up by an Ashe, you do have some question marks, but Zahir does manage to get the kill on the Kid Raw. Hercules is going to get the res, however, but Flitty gets picked up by Zahir. Zahir is just raining down rockets from above there, uncontested at the moment, and DMT getting the confirmation onto Major Parched as well, sending that Diva back to spawn. Now the pressure is really going to start coming down. Ray has been picked up, but Boone finally takes that central stake with their main tank down. Here comes all that damage without a shield there. DMT commits the EMP just to end this one quickly. Just going to absolutely delete Kid Raw on that Zenyatta, and they will get that point cap. I don't know if they needed that EMP, but it is going to speed things up, certainly. And we just have Rini now trying to stall progress on the point. He's going to get cleaned up as well. So that will get the payload out and moving as ADJ Bear cap that point just under 5 minutes on the clock as we start the Streets phase of King's Row. DMT very deep now, but Ray has picked up Hercules as well. They are going deep to try and get these staggers through. Defenders perhaps, well, they had a lot of people up, but the coordination obviously wasn't there. No Mercy getting rolled through there. And so we are going to see a lot of Streets progress given up as the aggressive plays from ADJ Bears absolutely pay off. And No Mercy having to back up and try and regroup here as they just get picked apart by this multi-DPS composition. So it's working out very well for the members of ADJ Bears now. Now that they've got things rolling, it looked a bit rough at the start, but there's another one. Kill onto Kid Raw by Boone, and Central Stake very close to having that shield hacked away as well, but does get saved by the Zarya bubble, so a nice heads-up play there by Flibby, keeping his Reinhardt safe from that Sombra. DMT 80% to their next EMP, and a lot of ultimates being banked up by the attackers as the payload makes its way around the last corner. We're coming on to the third and final point. Here comes Ray with the minefield in the middle of it, and Rini has already gone down. There's a barrage, rocket barrage over the top, and that is all the members of No Mercy bar 2 taken out now. Fluby and Hercules alone on the cart. They're going to get picked up very quickly. There goes Kid Raw at last, and that will be a point B take with very little in the way of fighting. So really nicely played there by ADJ Bears. They've got the initiative, they've got the driver's seat, and they know it. And they are absolutely using every advantage they've got at the moment to drive No Mercy back. We will be seeing some other composition changes as Flibby and Rennie move over to the McCree and Widowmaker respectively, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to take down this multi-pronged threat. There's a lot of... It's not the easiest composition to play Widowmaker into. You have so many things to worry about, and Boone picks up Kid Raw, and DMT picking up Rennie suggests that once again this payload will keep moving. DMT does get taken out by Hercules, so maybe an opportunity here now. And the payload is actually stalled because no one's currently on it. Now it's time getting on that one. They are going to get that payload moving again, but it's rounded the last corner. No Mercy really need to get on this and provide some pressure. Try and relieve this payload. They're pushing forwards now. They have managed to drive several members of ADJ Bears off the point, but Rini getting picked up early there in the fight, not a good sign. That's a nice Diva Bomb placement though. Takes out Boone and really scatters the team there. This is their opportunity to get proper control of this payload. They just need to get some more kills and clean this one up. They've lost Hercules. That's not a good position, and the members of the Bears have managed to regroup here. They've dropped the EMP, but DMT does get picked up. That said, Mayor Parched, and Rini have been taken out off the back of that. Zahir and Flibby getting the trade kills back once again. This fight is just going back and forth between these teams, but in the end, the respawn advantage on the part of No Mercy will carry them through here. But that is a little too close for comfort. They really need their fights to be a lot cleaner than that one. And we will be seeing some more composition swaps coming through. Rini is now onto the Hanzo, as is DMT. And so it's going to be very uncomfortable for Rini's Hanzo and Fibby on the Mercury as well, because Boone on the Widowmaker and DMT on the Hanzo means there's a lot of long-range damage there to worry about. It's going to be very difficult to contest. And we're going to have the sights pulled out here now by Boone. Ray actually falling off the map there is a bit of a question mark, but that should trigger a reset there. Boone getting picked up late on that one is great. The defender's really pushing through here now, actually. No Mercy are going absolutely on the offense, and they are picking up kill after kill. This is what they need. They really need to start getting these kills, getting their ultimate process going. So that is absolutely crucial that they've taken that moment, taken that initiative, and it's really paying off for them. They are looking a lot better in terms of ultimate economy, although they are still behind. But that chase there, absolutely crucial. Ooh. That's a minefield dropped straight on top of Flibby, which is going to see him out, and Kid Rock gets picked up on the tail end of that as well. Once again, ADJ Bears really flexing on the defenders here, but can they stick the landing this time? It's going to be a Diva Bomb there just to buy some space. But that's about all it does from Mayor Parched, and the payload continues to move forwards. Sentinel Snake diving in now. He's got the Primal Rage if he needs it, and they're going to throw the Diva Bomb through that, the Dragon Strike through that, rather, as well. The Defender's ultimate's now all online. How cheaply can they do it? It looks like this will be the retreat from ADJ Bears, but that late kill onto Hercules may turn this into a counter push just as soon as all 6 of their members are together, and we will see them move forward now. No Mercy in a lot of trouble here, but they've got time, they've got ultimates. There's a Dragon Strike coming through from the attack. Essential State going to get caught in the middle of that. He props his Primal and gets the Nano. That's a lot of resources being thrown into that Winston, and he does not really get a lot done from it. Here comes the Deadeye from Flibby. It needs to be huge, but it is not, and he is not getting anything from that. Finally, DMT is taken out by Heracles. That is a big start, but Mayor Parch getting picked up. Oh, and 2 with the 1 Fire Strike. Ray is a monster on this Reinhardt. It's a good sleep, though, to shut him down, but unfortunately, it really is just Kid Raw and Rini, and now it is just Kid Raw on the payload trying to buy time. Mayor Parch has made it back, as has Central Straight, but here comes the Deadeye. Flibby's back on the Immensity Doomfist. That's a good eat from Mayor Parch to knock out that Deadeye shot, but unfortunately it's not there for the Graviton, and so this will be now 15 seconds left on the clock. Can they keep the payload alive long enough to get it to OT? No, they cannot. That will be the full cap from ADJ Bears. With just seconds left on the clock, about 12 or 13 seconds remaining in the bank as they complete their attack run. 11 seconds, I was slightly off. Still, just finishing with any time at all is a win when things turn that bad, and certainly we've seen that ADJ Bear's quite good on the defense, so they've absolutely got every opportunity here to stop this payload before it gets to the end of there and win the map outright. If it does go over into Time Bank, at least they know they're always going to get another push here, and you've got to be confident having that as you make your way into this defensive round. So we will begin to get the heroes rolling out shortly. And it will be now ADJ Bears on the defense. Looks like they're going for a bit of a different look this time. Ray is going to be starting on the Reinhardt, Boone on the Zaya. We will see DMT back on the Sombra. So it is basically the Sombra Goats, which I don't think is something we've seen from them on the defense so far. And perhaps might catch the attackers off guard here. That said, No Mercy. Looks like they're going to be running the classic Goats. Well, not quite the classic Goats, actually. They will be running the Roadhog rather than the Diva. Interesting choice. Does make it a bit of a pick comp, which could work out, but we'll see how it plays. It's going to be interesting to see if Kid Raw can get the value they need out of that Moira, because obviously she's not particularly well regarded in the Goats comps these days. And oh, we have an early charge from Ray. That is going to absolutely destroy Central State. They lose Boone. And that could be more dangerous here on this first fight, because obviously the attackers do have respawn advantage here on the first point. DMT getting picked up as well is going to be the go button for the attackers. Members of No Mercy now grouping up before they get pushed forwards. And we will see them drive through now. Tahir's down, Son's down, and this should be a fairly quick and painless first point cap here. Despite the sneaky early flank pin from Ray, unfortunately other members of ADJ Bears do get punished pretty hard for some over-aggression, and that's going to be a very quick point A cap. No Mercy is going to get this payload moving with over 5 minutes on the clock, 5:30, as we move on to street space, and they're going to push up aggressively to try and take this space. Unfortunately, the one thing we do have to say, oh, it's a huge counterplay. That is a big EMP shatter there. Rinny's down, Mayor Pasture's down, and there goes the rest of the team as well. So that is going to be a big early fight win here from the defenders. And Flibby's going to get chased all the way back to spawn and get killed in spawn, in fact. But we'll see if we see any more compositional swaps. We have seen Mayor Parch go over to the Diva, so they are actually running a quad tank composition at the moment. And that's a bit of an interesting one. Now they are moving through. It looks like they're going to go for the fight and then get the payload going, but Means of Cut is kind of just sitting there. There's an early grab being dropped in by Boone, and it pays off huge. Ray picking up 2. He does get taken down by Flibby's Whole Hog, but I don't think it matters. That looks like it's a little too late. Hercules going down as well, and Boone just dropping a bit of tactical crouching there after the fight. They've won this fight, and they know it. So once again, the members here of No Mercy needing to find something to get it going, and it looks like Flibby will continue to play on this Hog. They are going to stick with the quad DPS. So it's interesting that they're sticking with this one, because I'm not sure I agree with it, but they are at least going to have the Diva Bomb Graviton Surge combo up shortly. So they've got a lot of tools about to come online. That said, DMT has another EMP. So there's the bomb, there's the grav. Boone and Ray have been picked up. That is a big start to this fight. They should be able to win this one out. And Son now under a lot of pressure on the card. Flibby picks up Zahir as well. This is looking very much like No Mercy get this one through to at least the end of streets. But again, no resources invested by the defenders in that fight. So as a result, they are going to have almost all their ultimates online for this final recontest. They've got DMT's EMP, which is going to be absolutely massive. There it is. Drops it in. EMP Shatter once again. And that is just absolutely devastating to any composition that plays together. Heracles, the only casualty, however, they do manage to get themselves to recover in short order, and Flibby has popped out the Whole Hog once again. Ray is going to get pinned against a wall by that one and just deleted by that damage. Transcendent's been committed by Andy a little too late to save anyone, but there's the sound barrier from Hercules as they come back in. This is absolutely where they want to hold it, and that is another EMP by DMT. That is 2 EMPs in what has basically been one fight. Central State now dropping the Shatter to try and win this fight back, but I'm afraid he's lost too many teammates at this point. That said, Andy and Boone down as well means that maybe, just maybe, No Mercy can bring this one back. There's the payload. It is going to roll across the line, just almost. DMT manages to get there just in time and keep it alive, but it really is just DMT against the world at this point. Can he keep it alive long enough for the rest of his team to make it back? Not with Flibby dropping the Whole Hog there. It's just going to make sure that he gets knocked away from the payload, and there is the cap coming through. So, very closely played flight there. Amazing work from DMT, who has built his 3rd EMP over the course of what was basically one extended brawl. So incredible work there. Unfortunately, just not enough damage to follow through on that one to get the decisive fight wins. But another opportunity coming in here, and there's the EMP being dropped. EMP Shatter once again. This time they need to get more kills off that, and they do get Rinny down and Mayor Parched. So that should be all they need. That is indeed a decisive fight win there. It's really the fight win they needed last fight, but as long as you stop the payload, you've got to take it. And now the defenders looking in a good position here. They do have to worry about Rinny's grab coming up soon, but they're not far from the sound barrier. That could be all they need. Andy also building that Transcendence at an alarmingly fast rate. But definitely an opportunity here for No Mercy to try and get the snowball going, especially with that early kill onto DMT. This could be absolutely huge. They've got the advantage here. They need to push it through. There's the grab being committed. And there's the Diva Bomb as well. Oh, that's huge! What a nice play there. Ray's shield just already way too beaten up. Unable to block out that Diva Bomb. And there's going to be a huge decisive fight win. Now things are getting desperate for the ADJ Bears. Boone has got the grab online once again, but unfortunately, I don't know if there's enough follow-up through. There comes Ray, though, with a huge shatter on top of that grab. That is absolutely going to be what they need. He does get knocked off the map for his troubles. Hercules has just been devastating with these Lucio boops, but unfortunately, one Lucio cannot take down 6 defenders, no matter how incredible they are with their boops. And so we will see ADJ Bears once again hold this one. 90 seconds on the clock, but once again the attackers still have the ultimate advantage here. It's really going to come down to DMT's next EMP as to whether or not they can get this through. If Hercules is able to avoid it, or, well, DMT's dead. That's the go button, never mind. And here comes Sensual Snake with the nano boost. They've lost Ray. Hercules going down early is not a good sign for the attackers here. But with the kills coming through, this might be the opportunity. There's a big EMP coming through, does catch 4 members. Hercules didn't get caught by it, but hasn't dropped the sound barrier. He's only just making it back to the fight now. So that would be why. Does drop it in there, but it only gets 3 members. This is... I'm not sure this was the fight they wanted to commit to. And yes, they will get repelled here. Repulsed, rather. Hercules getting picked up on the tail end of that as well. And I think maybe, just maybe, you hold that sound barrier and come in fresh. Because now it's going to be very difficult to get this one across the line if you are No Mercy. Boone got the grab online, but Flibby does have the Transcendence to answer. There's the grab early, only gets Sensual Snake, but he gets charged away from his Zenyatta, and that is going to be a free kill with 20 seconds left on the clock and baiting out Transcendence. That is an incredible position to be in if you are ADJ Bears, and they are on the brink of winning this. 10 seconds left on the clock, and No Mercy, this is their last shot. If they cannot get this one across the line, this is where their series ends. There's the grab into the shatter, but Andy is there with the Transcendence, and DMT is there with the EMP over the top, getting 5. Sensual Snake is the first casualty, and Major Pash is the second. This is looking incredible for ADJ Bears, although No Mercy strike back with a couple of quick kills of their own, but I don't know if they've got what they need to get this one across the line. The defenders do have the respawn advantage here, and that is all the members save for an out-of-mech Diva, desperately trying to remech, but without success, and that will be it. ADJ Bears will win Kings Row and win this series 3-1.
Play of the game.
And just incredible performance from the Bears here tonight. They've just been really good at setting up these defenses. Their ultimate rotation, their ultimate economy has been a pleasure to watch. They've obviously put a lot of work into it, and it definitely plays out very well. Whereas members of No Mercy, they seem to be committing their ultimates into lost fights a little too often. So definitely something to sharpen up when they watch over this match in their VOD reviews so that they can tighten up their own gameplay. Still very close game, very well fought from both these teams. But obviously, in the end, there can only be one winner, and this time it is ADJ Bears off the back of their great ult economy. That has been our Friday night Ascent game between ADJ Bears and No Mercy. Thank you all for joining us at this surprise, unexpected broadcast. I hope you got out of it what you were looking for, Will. I'm really going to stop calling him out. I feel a bit mean now. That's been all from us. We will be back tomorrow night for the AAOL ladder regular game. And of course, we also have the first round of the next Season 2 of Rise Up starting on Sunday as well. So please join us later in the weekend for more amateur Overwatch esports. I've been Pyronius. Pinky has been our producer, Pinky Max GG. And that's going to be all from us here tonight at AOE. So until next time, game on.